I'm going to interview my mom, and I'm going to ask her 5 questions for Christian Life Choices exam.
Okay.
Alright. Okay. First question. What are your views on popular music today, aka Taylor Swift, Kesha, etc.?
Okay. Well, being a musical person, I love music, all varieties. However, I think some of the music today is very positive, very upbeat, good messages for young people, obviously, like Taylor Swift, fine, example. But some of it is over the top, way too sexual, way too vulgar. Coming from a different generation, this music is a little too much sometimes,
Second question. How has technology affected your generation?
My generation is not too savvy when it comes to technology. However, we're learning because we are capable of learning it, but we didn't grow up with it like you all did. So it's affected us in that we had to get with the times and learn the programs, learn how to text, everything that we didn't know how to do. I didn't even have a cell phone until 1990s, so you can understand that it's a challenge.
What are your views on our current president, and by extension, the perceived notion of him from news stations, journalism, etc.?
I never believe what I hear on news stations, number one. Because, I shouldn't say never, but basically I take it with a grain of salt because it's all colored with people's their own judgments and their own opinions. You have to make your own opinion based on what the person actually does in office. I think President Obama is a good man. He's got a lovely family. I think he's entirely too young for the office because it requires a great deal of experience to be President of the United States. But other than that, I think he's sincere and he wants to do good things.
Okay. How do you feel about the way people dress nowadays?
Well, sometimes the fashions they're much more diversified than in my youth. In my youth, it was just a few things were in, and that was it. Now it's so diverse. There's so many styles to choose from that some of it's quite nice, boho and certain styles, but some of the fashions are a little bit, again, too revealing, leave nothing to the imagination, and therefore I think not too good for society.
Alright. If you had $1 million, what would you spend it on?
If I had $1 million, I would spend it on, let's see, it's a good thing to think about. Probably some of it I would use to help some other people, some disadvantaged people who are in very dire straits. Some of the money I'd use to pay off bills. Some of the money I would use to maybe go on a wonderful vacation, and some money for education. Kind of mix it up a little bit. Help some people with it, obviously.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Mom.
You're welcome.
Okay, alright, first question. How do you feel that current music today has affected our generation?
Well, I believe that now that a lot of the more popular music is based around partying, that it's become more of a party lifestyle that is living today. There's certainly a lot more alcohol and just all sorts of things that are associated with parties, along with sex, drugs, and various things of that manner.
Second question. How do you feel that technology has affected our generation?
Well, I think technology has done a lot. It's made traveling easier. It's made communicating a lot easier. It's allowed us to be able to do what we need to do for less, and it's also allowed us to be able to listen to music in easier ways. It's allowed us to really just learn information through the internet very easily, and I believe that technology has done a lot for us, and it can expand a lot more.
Okay, third question. No, look all intellectual to it. Okay, alright. Third question. What are your views on our current president, and by extension, the way he is perceived by, or portrayed by the media and newscasters and going back and things of that nature?
Well, as for the president, although he hasn't done much either way, productive or destructive, that I believe that's a lot better than if some of the previous presidents we've had, in which they've hurt a lot more than they've helped. And within his presidency, he's basically, well, first of all, he's taken down one of the more powerful terrorist leaders that there have been just recently. And along with that, he's also done a lot of smaller things, like forming organizations to help people who are needy and giving back to the community more so than helping the big picture, which is step one to helping the big picture. As for the news stations, I think that a lot of them are very too one-sided, so that you don't really hear both sides, and mainly newscasters tend to have very opinionated answers, and I believe that basically the best way to gain your information is through C-SPAN, which is simply just a conference room in which all the governors and senators talk together.
All right. Okay, how do you feel about the way people dress nowadays?
Well, I think that there are a lot of options for people to dress however they want. Different ways that they can wear a shirt to express an idea or belief, or even just their interests. But I think that a lot of it has been overrun by commercialism and mainly buying items from whichever brand seems to be worn the most by other people.
As opposed to actual quality, yeah. Okay, last question. If you had $1 million, what would you spend it on?
I would have a huge concert with a lot of my favorite bands and have the money go towards something of a charitable cause.
Cool.